Hey, how y'all doing? Oh my God, my voice, my poor voice. Okay, so first of all, hello, happy Saturday. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming to hang out with me on a good Saturday evening. I've been wanting to do Sunday sessions for a long time where I just come live, hang out, vibe with the people, vibe and hang out with y'all, answer questions directly. And hi, let's talk, Mara. And the goal for the most of these is like to bring other people to talk with me. But today I just want to, it's me and you. It's just gonna be me and you today talking about brainstorming for side hustles. I recently posted that I got let go from my job and I was not in a panic about it because I already had multiple streams of income, as in side hustles. And that content took off. I actually ended up doing like 3 videos about side hustles. So if you're here and you haven't seen them, feel free to, after this, go check out those videos. I'm going to put together a little playlist for that. But because it was so popular and because there were a lot of questions under the comments, I mean, under the videos, I even did a video answering questions, but there were even more questions. I thought it would be really nice to just tie this thing up with the bow by having a conversation directly with you all and answering questions live. So in this live session today, I actually have, like, I did some research before this session because I wanted to come prepared and ready to help. But I have a list of side hustles in categories that you can start with little or no money. Because somebody in one of those videos pointed out that, like, you got to have money to do some of the stuff that I was doing. Real estate investing, yeah, you got to have money to do that for sure. Um, but we're going to talk about things that you can start with little to no money today. And I have it broken up into one, two, three, four, five, 6 categories. So we're going to go through 6 categories. I'm going to share some, y'all share some. Like, let's share together. This is going to be a brainstorming session. I was actually going to try to figure out a way. Let me slow down. I'm so excited. I need to slow down. I was actually going to try to figure out a way to like offer for some of you to come up on stage and hang out with me as well. So we're going to do that. And just a couple of like housekeeping and caveat things. One, I have a cold. If you can tell, I either sound like depending on like what you like, I sound like I gargle broken glass, or I sound like a radio host on smooth R&B on a smooth R&B station. But throughout this, I may take a few minutes to like go on mute and cough or drink some water. I got my water here. I also have my hot lemon tea here, so I may take a couple of breaks to do that. I may have to pull out the inhaler and take that, and then I also have a throat lozenge because I need to make sure that my throat stays lubricated. That's what he said. Anyway, so I need to take care of myself throughout this and take care of my throat and my voice throughout this. So I may take breaks to do that. Just kind of bear with me. But I'm very, very excited to have this conversation. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Janelle. Hi, Chi-Town. The other housekeeping thing that I want to mention is that I want to be very clear. My channel is not about side hustles. So if that's the only reason why you're subscribed to me, I might end up disappointing you, but I am going to talk about side hustles. My channel is really about finding ways to live this one and only life to the fullest. And making extra money and having financial freedom is one of those ways. So that's a topic I am happy to explore and talk about. I've done, again, like 3 videos about it, and we're going to talk about it today. But coming here next week and the rest of this month, I'm going to switch topics a bit. We're going to talk about some other stuff. We're going into December, we're going into planning. So I'll be talking about planning and things like that in December. So I hope you stick around for that. The other bit of housekeeping is I'm going to do my best to answer your questions. And we might be here for a while because we might have a good time. We might just be vibing out and we might be here for a while, but I'm going to do my best to answer your questions. And I'm going to share screens. So it might get clunky. It might get messy because I have some stuff I want to show you. So I'm going to share some screens and stuff like that. Hey, Maya, how are you? I'm going to share screens and stuff like that. So just bear with me because I haven't done a live in a while. The other thing is, I just got a new mic. I hope it sounds good. Let me know if it sounds good. It might sound too good. Like y'all might hear me wheezing. Don't worry, I'm fine. Again, my inhaler's right here. Okay, enough preamble. Let's get into this. All right. So I'm going to break this down into categories. All right. So I'm going to talk about a few side hustles. And you guys feel free to ask questions about these side hustles. Tell me what kind of side hustles you're doing. Um, and also, let's talk about like how you get started, like how I would get started, how you would get started. And let me know if like something's clicking for you. You're like, I like this one. Okay. So the first category of actually the first question I want to ask in the chat, let me know in the chat. Do you have a side hustle? Do you have more than one stream of income? Yes or no? Does that fit your description? I think I have like 6 side hustles. Um, Hi, hey Raven, how you doing, girl? Quiet Storm Radio. You're with Lyria Jones, R&B side hustle radio. I love this title, Black Women Build Wealth. I love that. Okay, so let me know. Somebody says one person has a day job that she hates. I'm so sorry you hate your day job. That really, really sucks. I hope that you find either a day job that you really like, or I hope you find a side hustle that gives you kind of more balance, right? Somebody says they don't have a side hustle. So a lot of people don't have side hustles. So let's get into it. The first category I'm going to talk about is retail side hustles. And the reason I'm going categories is because I want to hit some side hustles that meet, different levels of interest as well as different levels of skill, ability, and the things that you have the time to do. And we'll talk a little bit about like what's going to be a heavy lift, what's going to be very labor intensive, and things like that. All right. So retail, I love that retail is actually something that a lot of people don't realize you can do for free at no cost. Like it does not cost you to start a retail business. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's something you can do remotely. I think a lot of folks, when you think retail, tell me what you think when I say start a retail business. You're probably thinking things like sell candles or have a boutique or have some kind of inventory. I think that when folks think start a retail business, you assume that I mean, you got to have warehousing, you got to pack and ship orders, you got to put stuff together, you got to do all that. You got to invest in the retail upfront and then actually try to go and sell that. And so I'm going to tell you that that is not true. You can actually do retail without having any inventory at all. You never have to pack your own orders. You never have to ship any orders at all. Let me give you an example. You guys may know that I have a t-shirt that I designed. I'm going to see if I can share my screen really quickly and show you this t-shirt that I designed. Let me go to my website right quick. I'm gonna tell you this. Years ago, I designed another t-shirt. I designed a t-shirt a long time ago, like 10 years ago, that said something like, I don't need a relaxer. My hair ain't stressed out. I love that shirt. Anyway, I designed that shirt a long time ago, and I went and found a printer that printed me a huge quantity of those shirts. And I would have them and I would pack them and ship them every time somebody ordered. And then I had a friend who was selling retail as well. So he let me use some of his warehouse space and they started sending it out for me. My problem was I ended up my t-shirt printer kind of just flaked out on me. And so I had all these orders and they couldn't fulfill it. And so now today, I end up having to close my store. And now today, I still have a box of those shirts. I still have a box of those shirts from 10 years ago. And so, yeah, I get why you would think that that means carrying an inventory. But right now, I sell 4 SKUs. So I used to work in resale. So I'm gonna talk about products as SKUs. I sell 4 SKUs. And let me show you my screen right quick. So I sell 4 SKUs. This is a men's t-shirt, a woman's t-shirt, a mug, another t-shirt. Oh wait, 5 SKUs. So another t-shirt and then a sweatshirt. So this is retail, right? I am selling retail. Here's the thing. I don't have any of these shirts in my house. Like if you came over for drinks right now and you were like, Liv, give me one of your shirts. I'd be like, baby, I can't give you that. I don't have it. You're gonna have to order that. I have none of these shirts. They are not physically in this space with me. They're not at my storage. I don't have them. So all I did, I'm gonna tell you guys what I did. I went on Canva. And so there's this thing called print on demand. Canva is a free tool. How many of you are familiar with Canva? Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with Canva. So all I did was I went and created an asset. I created a JPEG, a picture. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. So I went to Canva, which is free. Canva is free. And I created this graphic. I literally just created this graphic. That's all I did. I created this graphic. I created a white version of it. And then I created this one too, because I had posted this on Instagram and somebody was like, you need to turn that into a shirt as well. I had posted a picture of me holding up a sign that said this, and they were like, you need to put that on the shirt. So I created these graphics, and then I went to this site called Printful. And this is a print on demand company. So you can just go on Printful and let me see if I can sign in. I haven't signed in a while. Hold on, I'm gonna do this off page because I don't want y'all getting my email address and stuff. I can't be having that out in the world, just out in the world. Let me log into Printful. Give me just a second. But you can go on a site like Printful. Printify is another one. Boop 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 boop. Give me a second. Let me go to my products. Okay, so you can go to a site like Printful, and all you do is you can go and search for products. They have the inventory. You don't have to carry any inventory at all. You can go in here and say, let me find some women's clothing, women's t-shirts. I'm gonna grab a t-shirt. Come on, internet, work with me. I'm gonna grab a t-shirt, right? So you pick out a shirt or whatever, right? So you're picking out this shirt. And then all you do is you upload this graphic that you created to that shirt. And then you put that on your website and you sell it. That's it. And if you're concerned about, so this is again, no cost. Printify and Printful, those are two print on demand companies. They have all the inventory. You give them your artwork file and then you set your prices. You figure out, what you want to sell, what colors you want to sell, what sizes you want to sell, and then you put that information on a website. And Printful is free. They only charge you if you sell something. They only charge you if you sell something. So to date, at this point, we've created artwork, we've put our artwork on a product, and we haven't spent a dime. We've spent no money, right? Then the question becomes, well, where do I put it? It's going to cost me to put it somewhere. Well, there are websites like Gumroad that don't charge you. You can set up products, you can set up a store, and they only charge you if you sell something. So now you've got Printful and Gumroad only charging you if you sell something. And so this is one way to get into retail and sell retail without spending any money. You can also put your shirts on Etsy. I could put this shirt, I could probably put this shirt, I think I could put this shirt on Amazon if I wanted to. I can go put the shirt on Amazon if I wanted to. And anytime somebody ordered it, what happens is the order goes to Printful and they ship it. They print the shirt, they make the shirt, they make it to order, and then they ship it. Of course, they take a bigger cut. It costs less to hold the inventory because when you purchase at a larger scale, you're purchasing, your per unit price is lower. So Printful and Printify are going to charge a little bit higher, but this is a really good way to get started if you don't have any money and you want to start making some money. And then maybe you come off of that platform at some point. If you want to start scaling and getting bigger margins, you can come off of that platform and start making money. Has anybody ever heard of this? Have you guys heard of doing stuff like this? This is one way to get into retail that costs no money, and it does not require you to hold stock, to hold any inventory, or to honestly do anything except design. Like if you're a creative, if you're good at coming up with catchy slogans, you can just go into Canva and design something, throw that on a shirt, put that on a site, share it somewhere, ask some people to wear it, share your link, and then people can just go and buy it. And you didn't do anything. Printful, when people go buy it, that company will process the payments, or wherever your website is will process the payments. And then Printful will ship it for you. And here's the other cool thing. It doesn't have to just be shirts. So if we go to this product catalog, if we go to this product catalog, there are blankets, This is a blanket. Like, you could turn this into like, you can make an HBCU blanket. You could like, how many HBCUs are there? You can make collegiate blankets. You can make anime blankets. Like, you could put whatever you wanted on a blanket. If you've got some beautiful artwork, you could put that on that blanket. If you got a cute saying, like, um, drinking my water and riding my business, or I'm in my soft life era, you could put that on a blanket, whatever. You could put stuff on that as well. And then you've got, what other products do they have? Let's look. Let's see. Let me know in the comments, what products would you be interested in selling? So they have hats. So you can make hats, bucket hats. You can make kids clothing. They have accessories, tote bags. Look at that. You can make a tote bag. You can make duffel bags. Hey, Rattler. You can make the like, look at this gorgeous duffel bag. Like, if you had some really cool artwork that you wanted to put on a duffel bag, or just some words that you want to put on a bag, right? They also have drawstring bag, fanny packs, hair accessories. You can design hair accessories. You could design footwear, flip-flops. Like, y'all, come on. You could design, I mean, I don't know who buying these shoes. I don't know who's buying these shoes, but shoes, socks. You can design socks. You can design phone cases, earphone cases, laptop cases, all kinds of stuff. They even have home and living stuff. So, like stationery, notebooks, aprons, guys. There's so much stuff in here. So much stuff in here. Like, Feed Your Inner Chef said, she's that you use Printful. It's very simple, and there is no inventory, and there's no upfront cost. There is no cost to sign up for Printful. Like, you just have to connect your bank account. And what happens is, when someone makes a purchase, they take the amount of that purchase out, but they also, oh no, they pay you the difference between the cost and what you made, just so you know. And I want to show you an example of someone else who, let me go to my notes. Um, so there's t-shirts, there's phone cases, you can make clothing. And I wanted to show you an example from someone who did this with, what is her name? I mean, what did she do? She did pajamas. This was super cute. Hopefully the audio plays. Let me click on it real quick. She is literally just making pajamas, doing exactly what we said, but she's using Printify. She's going in Canva. She literally just put "boo" on a shirt with like a little skeleton and put it on some shorts, and made a pajama set just that fast. Like, look at that. She didn't even like, she didn't draw that skeleton. She literally found clip art that was already in Canva and put this on some clothes. Like, look at that. And now she's selling us a pajama set. So retail is one thing that you can get into. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second and go back to just me and you, just me and you. So retail is definitely something that you can get into. I think, let's talk about I like to call it like kind of the labor curve, right? There's no money for you to invest up front, right? And this is easy to learn. This is stuff that it's very easy to learn. There are thousands of videos on YouTube about how to do this stuff. There's so many videos on YouTube about how to do print on demand products. I saw another video on Instagram where this woman was making phone cases. My daughter used to sell phone cases at school because she's an artist and she likes to paint. But like, people would buy the phone case, bring it to her, and she would paint on it. So she was like physically painting. And I told her the other day, like, girl, you need to do some digital art, upload that, do it in Canva, upload that, and sell those phone cases. But that's something else. That's something else that you can do. I think when we think about like what the upfront labor is, the upfront labor is going to be in kind of ideating on what designs you're going to make, like understanding what's hot right now. I think things like t-shirts and phone cases and stuff like that is very much, especially t-shirts, it's very much like, what's hot right now? What are the cool, funny slogans? What are people buying right now? I think honestly, a really good place to go is I don't know what the word is, affinity things, right? So things like HBCU gear. The way FAMUans buy FAMU gear is crazy. If you could design some cute FAMU pajamas, because that's something I have not seen, I'm actually thinking about doing that myself. Shoot. I'm thinking about telling my daughter, like, let's design some FAMU PJs and start selling them. But if you could come up with something that's affinity based, because people love to really kind of show off and lean into the things that are affinities for them, like their HBCU, their clubs, their city, their state, stuff like that. So you could do print on demand. Absolutely, you can do print on demand with a I think you can do print on demand with an annual planner. I saw notebooks in there. So basically, you would design it like a notebook, and then you would have to upload the content to that. I think you could possibly do that. Let me look into that. Let's actually, you know what? Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick little Google search. Somebody just asked, can you do print on demand with a annual planner? I will tell you, I have seen quite a few people just sell journals. They literally will they just create the first, page, like the cute little cover page, and they just make a journal and they're just selling that on Amazon. You could also, excuse me, just a moment. I've also seen people kind of market journals for specific people and things. So, for instance, I watched this video about people who are making money selling journals on Amazon. And one of the things they did was like they were they got super specific. Like, someone created a journal for cancer patients to write in when they're getting chemo. Somebody created a journal for new moms. Somebody created a journal for moms of autistic children. Somebody created a journal for You could create a journal for women in perimenopause. I think it would be really compelling. I haven't seen this, but I think creating a journal for women who are in perimenopause to track their symptoms, because we all feel like we're crazy. Like we're not going to go off on that. We're not going to veer off on that tangent. But I would love to have a journal. I think me and a lot of people my age would love to have a journal that just helps us track like what we're going through. Like at night, we can like kind of write down, check off the symptoms that we've had and things like that. That's something someone can create in Canva and then start selling on Amazon. Oh, this is the answer to your question, Raven. Amazon does the print on demand for it, actually. Amazon has a print on demand. I was about to look this up and then it just came to me. If you just create the pages in Canva, then you can go and upload it to Amazon, and Amazon actually does print on demand, if I recall correctly. The other thing that you can do is you can create it as a template, and then people can just download it digitally as well. Because a lot of people write on their stuff on their iPads and tablets and stuff. Is Etsy saturated with sellers? Sure, I think so. I think Etsy, and it kind of depends on the niche, right? I think Etsy is probably pretty saturated, but Etsy is not the only place, right? There's so many other places that you can sell things. There's other sites just like Etsy that exist that people go to. Um, yeah, the perimenopause journal is like I just freestyled that one. Like, listen, Pamela, let's do it. Come on, cousin Pamela Jones. Come on, cuz. um, but yeah, Etsy is saturated. But here's what I want to call out, right? When you find yourself calling out a roadblock, like, isn't this saturated? Don't let that be the thing that stops you. Let that be the thing that tells you, okay, so what do I need to do to break through the noise? Or what do I need to do? Or is there an alternative, right? So don't stop there. Ask more questions, right? And I feel like a lot of times we decide not to do something because we're making an assumption about a roadblock, or we've identified a roadblock and we're like, well, that's it. Yes, Etsy is saturated, but is it saturated for every category? And for the people that are still breaking through the saturation and doing well, what is it they're doing? And how can I do that? And how can I repeat that on newer platforms that aren't saturated yet? Right? So, where else can I sell these things? So, it's a very good question. Is Etsy saturated? My question back to you is, what other questions can you ask about that to get beyond that roadblock or to address that roadblock? Um, I've seen journals on Amazon as well. It's so many journals on Amazon, it's not even funny. And it really is, it's called Amazon KDP. Thank you for saying that. So Amazon KDP is their kind of print on demand thing. Yep. Mhm, mhm, mhm. All right, so that is the retail stuff. Again, I would say that the heavy lift in the beginning is really ideating on designs, and then the rest of the lift is making sure you have good outlets to sell these things, right? Pushing your marketing and making sure that you're selling it. But the rest of it is pretty passive. So I'd say it's probably medium labor, medium labor intensive to get something like this off the ground, but it does not cost anything to do this. Okay. Um, all right. Yeah. So whenever someone speaks about saturation online, I tell them think of grocery store aisles. There's tons of bread, tons of ice cream, tons of water. Let me tell you something. And companies every day are coming out with new versions of the same things we've been buying, right? Like there are new companies creating pasta and macaroni. We've been buying macaroni for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, I always use, similar to you, daughter of Pinky, I always use the Home Depot, Ace, and Lowe's example. You ever been driving down the street, you see a Home Depot, and like there's a Lowe's like right there, and then there's a Ace Hardware right there. Well, the thing is, if Home Depot doesn't have what I'm looking for, I'm going to go to Lowe's. And if Lowe's doesn't have it, I'm just going to go to Ace. All three of these places can exist on the same street and still be successful. So again, that don't have to be the thing that stops you. Just, figure out how you can break through and provide what someone else's may not be providing. Okay, so that's retail. Do we have any more questions about retail? Burger King, McDonald's doing the same thing. They ain't stopped them. They ain't stopping nobody, child. Nobody. All right. So the next category I'm going to go to, and then we might end up talking about this one for a long time. I'm starring some of your questions so I can come back to them. Do you have to get permissions to use HBC or other collegiate logo? Yes, you do. I don't think it's as hard as you think it is, though. There may be a cost associated with it. Now that you mentioned that, there may be a cost associated with that. So let that be the next level. So, like at first, you can just sell something like all the pretty girls went to FAMU or something like that. You don't have to put like the FAMU logo on it, but you can just say all the pretty girls went to FAMU. You ain't got to put learning on there. If you're in the FAMU alumni group, you know what I'm talking about. You don't have to put the snake on there. Or you sell just something else. And as you make money, you invest in back into your business and growing what you're able to do. So maybe then, you say, well, once I make my first $500, $300, whatever, I can invest in getting licensing from one of the top HBCUs, right? So you can figure out like, who do I see whose college's social media do I see that's like popping the most? That's who I'm selling to. All right. So I'm going to head over to consulting. Let's talk a little bit about consulting. I saw a guy freezing grapes, selling them into small containers like snack packs and selling them individually for like 4 times more than regular fruit prices. It's possible. Yes. Yes. Actually, there was this guy on campus at FAMU for years. He would sell snack packs. So he would just sell waters and chips on campus. As you're walking around campus, he'd be like, get your snack pack. And it was those like the chips when we were kids, they were 25 cents, like the little bags of chips. They were 25 cents. But he would sell those to us as we're walking around campus because, I mean, we're hungry and we don't have time to stop. Like we may have forgotten to stop at the calf or whatever. Also, my brother, when we were little kids, he used to sell, this is about to sound real crazy, y'all. Um, and I'm going to share this because I do believe that in this world, people can make money doing so many things that you don't have not even thought of. When my brother was in middle school, so this would have been the late 80s, he used to sell at school, he used to sell cinnamon flavored toothpicks and cinnamon flavored paper because there were kids at school that like to chew on toothpicks and like to chew on paper, like literally kids that like to chew on paper. And so he would just sit home and he went and bought some cinnamon, some concentrated cinnamon. He went and bought some toothpicks and he bought paper and he would just take it out and he would season it. He would soak it in the cinnamon and then he would sell it at school the next day. Like you'd be surprised at stuff that people make money doing. It's wild. This was in the 80s now. Okay. we're going on to consulting. All right. So if you're just joining us, hi, my name is Labria Jones. I am wrapping up the conversations we've been having about side hustles by having a brainstorming session with me and you guys. And I am talking about side hustles that you can do with little or no money. Okay. Side hustles that you can do with little or no money. And we're going to go through about, I think, 6 categories. I'm going to share some. Y'all share some. Let's brainstorm. Let's talk through this. And I'm going to answer as many questions as I possibly can with my raggedy voice right now, or my radio station voice. If I try to, so when I try to be gentle with my voice, that's when I sound like I'm a radio host. When I try not to strain my voice. So we already talked about retail. We talked about on-demand products and how you can have a retail store without having any inventory or having to invest in any inventory upfront. So we talked about that. We're going to talk about consulting. So a lot of you guys have services that you can provide to people. It does not cost you anything to provide those services. You're just good at certain things. Someone mentioned virtual assistant. Raven's on here. She does operations work. I do project management, and now I'm doing a lot more operations, like high level setting up, creating operations, and helping businesses scale and things like that. But so many of you have skills that you can consult. Some of you educators out there can consult with curriculum development. There's a woman that I follow on Instagram. I follow her because I like her. She doesn't do anything that like I've never been a teacher, but she teaches educators how to become consultants. Actually, let me find her because somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, who is it?" Let me find her right quick. But she basically teaches educators how to become consultants and how to consult on like building curriculums and things like that. So um, I'd love for you guys to let me know in the comments, what skills do you have that you believe you could use as a consultant? And being a virtual assistant, being an administrative assistant is also consulting. So I'm gonna say consulting slash freelancing while I try to find this woman. I think her name's Erica. I'm doing my best to find her. But drop in the comments and let me know. Project management is an excellent thing that you can do consulting. And especially like as a project manager, another thing that you could do is what is the word I am looking for? Um, Scrum master. You could be a scrum master. Um, my friend Stephanie. See, I would have put that in my perimenopause journal. I had a brain freeze. So she just did a thing talking about how people can get into Scrum and being Scrum Masters. She just did this live, I think last week, with someone talking about Scrum Masters. I cannot find this woman's channel. It's so funny. Her channel always pops up for me. And now that I need it to pop up, I don't see it. That's so annoying. Don't y'all hate when they have it? Yeah. So Stephanie Perry just did a video about being a scrum master. So if you're a project manager, that's something else that you can do as well. Somebody said that they do accounting and social media marketing. Um, that's awesome. And a lot of people don't realize, like, if you are good at being organized and you don't mind doing kind of I don't want to use the word mundane, but routine and repetitive tasks. Bookkeeping is something that you can do. And you don't have to be an accountant to do bookkeeping. I do know someone who has built quite a large client base doing bookkeeping, and she does this remotely. She does it from home, and she does bookkeeping. That's definitely one you can do. I'm in leadership. I would love to turn that into something dealing with consulting. What if you did leadership training? Leadership management and development training. The client that I have right now that I'm helping her scale her business, that's what she does. She does a lot of speaking engagements around leadership, and she comes in and teaches people how to, or she comes in and consults companies on how to turn their employees into leaders. So you could do leadership development training. One of the things that you can also do to get started and kind of get your foot in the door is look for companies that offer that as a service, leadership training, and see if you can sign up to be one of their trainers. Because a lot of these companies, they hire trainers to go in and teach their processes and their methods and things like that. Another thing that you could do if you're an operations person is look into GSD, GSD methodology, and you can get certified in that as well. All right. VetJet. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I saw the posts about it because I was a scrum master as well. So I've been a project manager for a long time. All right, so let's talk about consulting really quickly. There's so many things that you can do. So we talked about project management, we talked about leadership. A couple things I also wrote down was customer service. I don't think a lot of people realize that you can consult doing customer service as well. You can go in and help businesses set up their customer service systems. I mentioned this in one of my videos. There's this tool called Freshdesk. How many of you love it when you email a company, you've had a problem, you email a company, and you immediately get someone an email acknowledging that your email was received, you get a ticket number, and you get something that says you'll get a response within 48 hours. How many, like, you see that and you're like, "Oh, that's so professional." And then you hate when you email a company and you don't hear anything at all, right? And then you've got something in the middle where every time you email a company, the business owner is like stuck at their email trying to respond to your emails immediately. And because they're doing that, they're not free to really build their business. And so you can help that business owner get to the point where they've got this professional customer service set up. And so one of the things that I've been recommending for a long time is people learn how to use a tool like Freshdesk or Zendesk. I'm going to show you Freshdesk really quickly just because we got time. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing but talking to y'all. That's what we're here for. I'm going to show you Freshdesk because I mentioned it before. Do I need to zoom in? Can you guys see my screen well? Let me zoom in some so you can see it better. So this thing called Freshdesk. So it's basically a help desk and ticketing system. And it has all kinds of cool little features. This is what it looks like. So on the back end, but you can basically set it up. These are the levels. You can go and set it up for free and play with it. You can play around in there, learn how it works. Like, you could today go and set this up for completely free. And then you could go to YouTube and watch some videos on setting up Freshdesk. How a Freshdesk tutorial. Tutorial for beginners. You could literally teach yourself how to use, like, look at all these videos. How to use Tech Freshdesk. And again, it's free. So you can go and set up your own account and then teach yourself how to use this. And then you can go and start offering this service to people. So if you go on places like Fiverr, let's go to Upwork first. If you go to Upwork, and we're going to talk about this in just a minute, because what I want you to know is that places like, oh my God, the pop-ups, geez, calm down, everybody. The cool thing about Upwork and Fiverr is that you can also go here and just look at the categories and see what other people are doing. But before I do that, I just want to point out to you that customer support is one of the things that people offer on here. People do offer customer support services to organizations. So customer service representative, Zendesk specialist. Zendesk is another tool that's just like Freshdesk. Tech support specialist. So you've got people on here offering customer service skills to companies. And so one of the things that you could do for free is literally go set up this account and then learn how to use it and offer this as a service to small business owners, or put your services on Fiverr or Upwork. But you could reach out to people as well and let them know that you are willing to set up there, and you can do one or two for free. Like, reach out to a small business owner and just ask them if they have a ticketing system set up and if you could set it up for them for free. Just try it out, get one or two clients, or charge them a low cost. And one of the things that you can also do is join Facebook groups or LinkedIn communities with business owners so that you guys can start talking about, or you can understand what some of their challenges are. And you can also, like, a lot of Facebook groups don't want you to sell your services, right? Which is totally fair. Totally get it. I used to run a couple of Facebook groups. I don't want people selling in my Facebook group either. But those Facebook groups for business owners are knowledge groups, right? A lot of times people want, our business owners like myself are in those groups for resources. So you could become a pro at Freshdesk and just drop knowledge gems off up in there. You could go up in there and be like, listen, I need these small business owners to step their game up when it comes to customer service. Y'all got marketing on lock, y'all got social media on lock, but your customer service back end is it needs help, and here's why. You know what I'm saying? So you could start just dropping knowledge, and you can just kind of share things that you're learning or things that you're doing. And what happens is you start to get seen as an expert in those groups by business owners. The number of uh, other business owners that I've hired or I've worked with or collaborated with in some of those groups just because they've been sharing knowledge. The bookkeeper that I told you about, I hired her to be my bookkeeper last year just because she was sharing stories. She never tried to sell me, never once. I never once saw her post, "Oh, I'm taking bookkeeping clients." I just saw her sharing stories about the things she's been able to help business owners do. And so in my mind, she helps people with books because she shared that. So that's something that you could do as well. This is an easy one. This is just an idea I'm throwing out there um, for you guys to just to spark some ideas. I'm not saying you got to go do customer service and set up customer service. I'm just giving you an example. Like this is something. It's a free tool. Like you can learn how to use this tool for free. For free. All right. Let me stop sharing my screen right quick so I can answer some questions. Former educator. So, as I mentioned, for former educators, curriculum design is a good one. If you can get into learning instructional design, that's a good space for former educators to be in as well. And instructional design is basically the people who design training tools. So, if you've ever had to do like when you first get hired at a company, you have to do your HR training or your annual security trainings, and you like are clicking through and there's like videos and all this other stuff. An instructional designer put that together. And it's not as technical as people think. I actually have a few videos on my YouTube channel from with me and my friend Jill Davidian, where she's taught so many teachers how to be instructional designers. And it doesn't require a whole new degree, and you don't have to be overly technical. You need to be like, if you can make a PowerPoint presentation, if you can set up a presentation, you can do instructional design, is what it boils down to. All right. Any other ideas for consulting? Let me know in the comments. What other ideas do you guys have? Because it's a brainstorming session. So it's not just for me. It's not just for me, it's for y'all too. Um, what do you, I'll come back to that. Okay. Project management is a good one as well. And I think along the lines of that fresh desk thing, I think tool setup and management, period, is just a really good one because I'm going to show you something. Um, a lot of these tools that companies want to use and want to get into are free for you to learn how to use. I had a business owner reach out to me and ask me if I would be willing to set up ClickUp for her. ClickUp is hot right now. A lot of companies want, a lot of people want to set up ClickUp, and there's a lot of contracts out there for that work to create ClickUp accounts for companies. And let me tell you something about ClickUp. Here, let me show you this because I want to make sure. Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you something. Learning ClickUp is free. Uh, ClickUp certification. If you go to ClickUp certificates, their certificate programs are free. You can go get certified in setting up a tool like ClickUp. Like you can go and learn how to set this tool up. ClickUp is a project management tool, and it helps companies kind of organize a whole lot of different information. Some companies use it for managing their content calendars. Some companies use it for project management. Some companies use it just for collaboration. There's a lot of things that it can do. Um, but basically it's a productivity and workflow tool. So you could go and learn how to do this and get certified in it, like literally certified in it for free by the company. And then you go on a site like Fiverr and Upwork, and you can say, well, I'm ClickUp certified. You can apply for those positions, but then you can also offer templates. Like you can create some templates that you can then sell. And then you can say, well, if you can have these templates, or you can pay me to set up a bespoke ClickUp system for you. And that's just one example. Notion is another example. Notion, everybody loves Notion right now. Like Notion is so hot. Are you guys going to be in my Notion? This is my Notion. Oh, that's my personal Notion. We can't be in my personal Notion. We can't do that. But this is my business Notion. Like, I set all this stuff up in Notion, but someone can go and learn how to do this. And then you can start going and setting this up for other clients. And even if you didn't do this for clients, even if you just said, I'm going to create some Notion templates for planning or for meal prepping or for workouts or for journaling or whatever, you could sell those templates. So many people sell their Notion templates. So you could go and learn this again for free. I don't, right now, I don't know if ClickUp is similar to Notion. I think there are things that they both do alike, but there are also things that one does and the other doesn't, if that makes sense. So I think there's some overlap, but I don't think that they are the same. Similar is probably a fair call out. Where do you start? Search for curriculum instruction design opportunities. Instructional design opportunities are on every job board that exists. So, Indeed, any of the remote job boards that I've ever shared. I have a video on my top 5 favorite job boards if you want to check that out. But and then there are often opportunities on places like Fiverr and Upwork. So let's go look. Let's go look right quick on Upwork. I'm gonna log in. And I think I gotta share my screen to log in because then y'all will see my email address. Give me just a second. I'm gonna log in to Fiverr as if I were looking for people to hire. And then let's see if we can find some instructional designers together. Let's do that so you can see what people are doing and how much people are charging for that kind of service. So we'll do that for a couple of them so that you guys can see what I'm talking about when I'm telling people. Oh, let me switch to switch count to client. Okay. So I'm going to log in as someone that is going to hire people so I can show you some of the stuff. How about that? Does that work for you guys? Do you like that idea? Well, we're doing it. It's happening. All right. Hopefully my screen is large enough. So if it's not, please just let me know and I will zoom in. So let's look for instructional designers. So here you have one instructional designer. He makes 120, he charges 120 an hour and he's worked 6 jobs. He's earned 200,000 on this platform. So you can see that people are offering these services. Like they just have it posted and people are, kind of finding them on here. After this, I'm gonna switch and show you what it looks like if you're trying to get jobs too. Okay. So this guy he offers expert learning and instructional design, and you can book a consultation with him. And this is his work history. He got paid $12,600 for this one. I'm going to tell y'all something. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but if you are starting out as a consultant, if you are starting out as a consultant, even if you get jobs from your friends or people you know, I honestly would set up a Fiverr or an Upwork account and have them pay you through that. You might like you're going to lose a little bit because Fiverr or Upwork is going to take a little bit of a small percentage of the payment, but this allows you to start building your portfolio. Like if I was going to hire somebody, I can come here and see that he's had jobs before and he has reviews. And so as a matter of fact, the client that I have, the first time she asked me to do something for her, I was like, okay, I'm going to set up a Fiverr account. I need you to pay me through the Fiverr account so that I can go ahead and start building up a profile. So that's one of the ways that you can start building yourself. And that way you don't have to constantly rely on people you know, the network that you have. You can also rely on the marketplace that is Upwork and Fiverr. And you can start building some of your social proof and some of your reviews. So even if, let's say Raven, let's say I'm calling Raven out because we've worked together before. I don't know if she's still on this live, but let's say Raven started to do a project with me and she's just starting out. She's just starting out doing operations management, right? And I hired her to set up some operations or to set up a tool for me or to configure something for me. To set up configure mean just means set up to set up a tool for me. One of the things that Raven could do is even though she got this job from me offline because we have a relationship, because she knows me, she could say, "Hey, Lib, I'm gonna set up a Upwork profile, and I'm gonna send you a link, create a job and then hire me from that job, and you can pay through there, okay? And so that way, when the job is done, I can give her a review and it shows up on her profile just like this. So one of the things I would call out is if you do wanna start getting work from, sites like Upwork and Fiverr, and you end up getting some work offline, see if you can pull those people onto those platforms so that you can build, kind of your street cred on those platforms. Okay. So that's instructional design. Let's look at customer service. I'm going to do customer support. Let's see. Airbnb consultant. I'm going to come to this one. This one was actually on my list. So we're going to come back to that one. But certified support provider, customer support specialist, live chat, chargeback, dispute expert. So this person is in another country, right? That's 3.5 because he's charging $3.50 an hour, 350 an hour. I'm going to click on US only. So some of these people are offering customer service professionals. This man has had 25 jobs in customer service that he got off of Fiverr, support and retention specialist. So if you've ever had to take them retention calls where people are like, I'm about to cancel, and you had to like, get them a couple extra things to keep them around, this is something that you can do here. Multilingual. So people are offering these services on here. So I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna switch my account and let's look at what it looks like if I were hiring someone, or if I were looking for a job. Okay. So I want to show you what the instructional design positions look like. I'm gonna change over to being a freelancer. I haven't boosted my profile. I haven't done much on here, but instructional designer. All right. I'm going to change this to instructional design. And I think that this is a good way. Airbnb consultant is on my list. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Instructional design. I'm sorry. Going on these sites is a good way to kind of also just spark your creativity for what's possible and what people are being paid to do out here in the real world. Okay. So I see a lot of graphic designer stuff. So I don't see. Here's instructional designer for Lean Six Sigma. So, to your question about where you can find these jobs, they exist. So, here's one right here. Um, and then this one is looking for curriculum design for New York geography, $20 to $50 an hour for that. So course creation from existing content. So there's ways that you can find positions in a page like Fiverr or Upwork as well. And when I said sparking creativity and sparking ideas, I'm going to go back to the client piece. Um, and I'm going to go to discover. I want to figure out how do you get back to the categories, jobs. Man, okay, so I'm gonna go to Fiverr and show you this because I feel like I've done it on Fiverr before. So if you go to Fiverr, the cool thing about Fiverr is you can go to different categories and see what people are doing. Stop showing people my email address. Anyway, if you click on explore, you can actually, I'm sorry, if you go down here to the categories, you can see the categories that people are offering services in. Digital marketing, if you click on that, then you can see what's in there, what's most popular in here. Email marketing, music promotion, paid social media, and stuff like that. So FYI, this is a good way to just spark creativity. Just go click around in there. You see all these topics at the top. This is why I love Fiverr for this, because when you click on the category at the top, so many other categories pop up. Like this is an idea generator right here. You can say, oh, well, I want to do, I do graphics and design. Look at all this stuff that pops up that you could do, right? If you scroll down, somebody says, can somebody, if you just click on consulting, what came up is legal, business, HR, content strategy, influencer marketing, PR strategy, style and beauty advice, nutrition coaching, mindfulness coaching. Like there's so much stuff in here. There's so many ideas in here. So I think that just going to Fiverr and just hovering over some of these categories is a good way to get a lot of ideas. Like this is a good way to brainstorm. I hope that made sense. Gosh, we are an hour in and I'm only on the second category, y'all. Whew. I need to take a break for a drink. Okay. All that said, there's so many options that you can do for consulting. I'm going to move on to services. And services is very similar to consulting. It's pretty much the same thing. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't even know why I separated. Oh, I know why I separated because one of the ones that I mentioned on here is why. All right, so services. Under services, I was thinking Airbnb co-hosting. So what Airbnb co I can't, I'm looking at y'all. I'm supposed to be looking at the camera. What Airbnb co-hosting is basically someone has an Airbnb, right? So for instance, I have an Airbnb. I'm in my Airbnb right now. I am squatting in my Airbnb right now, which means I'm not making any money off of it. Anyway, I have an Airbnb. Let's say I left the country for a year or I moved out of town and I just cannot manage my Airbnb. I can hire a co-host to come in and they don't even have to necessarily physically be here. But let's say I got too much on my plate and I don't want to manage the communication and the emails and stuff like that. I can hire a co-host to approve guests, to respond to guest emails, to manage the calendar, manage the Airbnb calendar, to also manage communication with the cleaning staff. So my daughter was doing this for a little while. What happens with my Airbnb, and I can show you guys the back end, I think. What happens with my Airbnb is I don't have it on book automatically. I don't have it on auto book, just because it's a college town. So sometimes we have people like trying to throw parties and we have some, interesting people trying to book stuff in a college town. If I had an Airbnb in like another country, it would probably be on auto book just because it's just easier. But what happens is when someone tries to book an Airbnb, I get an email and then there's a note in my tool that basically says, hey, this person is trying to book. Right. And then I have to go and look at that person's profile and decide if I'm going to approve them or I can offer them a discount. Or what happens a lot of times is people send out a listing, a booking request, and they're asking questions. So if someone's asking questions and I'm on a plane on the way to Vietnam, I can't help them. But if I have a co-host, i.e., my daughter at the time, she can log in and answer these questions, right? And then also what happens is I'm going to show you guys the back end to my Airbnb real quick also. I'm showing y'all all my business. Y'all getting all my business. All right, so here's the calendar. So what would happen? Here's ideally, if I had an Airbnb co-host, ideally that co-host would do something like look forward because my property is available for 6 months out, right? 6 or 8 months out. So ideally, my co-host could go in the calendar and start blocking off dates that it's not available. She or he, or they could also go through the calendar and compare it to the calendar for the colleges here and say, oh, well, we need to change the pricing for this weekend. So a co-host could go in and do that kind of thing for me. They could say, okay, well, it's average 127, 132 a night, but um, May May 8th, or this weekend right here, May 8th through the 9th is graduation. So I'm going to go in here and update the prices. They could run that by me, or I could just give them carte blanche to do that, or they could do it or they could put it in a spreadsheet and ask me, is it okay? And then I would update it, right? So a co-host could do that kind of thing. A co-host could manage the messages, right? So when I get a message from someone saying that they want to book, like this person sent, can we extend the reservation, right? um, can they extend their reservation? My co-host could respond to that email and let them know, right? And answer that question. So a co-host basically handles, yeah, it's mostly questions. Honestly, as a co-host, actually, no, I'll say this. I'll say as a co-host, here would be my expectation for my co-host if they were local. If I had a local co-host, my expectations would be manage the calendar and make sure that the dates are open that need to be open, that the prices are accurate. So if it's a football game weekend, we need to up the price. The second thing is so managing the calendar. The second thing is um managing the messages and the reservation requests. So if a reservation request comes in, oh shoot, there's an open message. See, like I need somebody to respond to this. If there's a open reservation, then someone needs to go and approve that. So if you guys try to reserve my Airbnb, I would have to approve it. So my Airbnb co-host could approve it. Another thing that Airbnb co-host could do is once that those dates are set. So, for instance, we have a upcoming cleaning upcoming stay February 20th and 23rd. I would expect my co-host to make sure that the cleaners know that they need to do a turnover clean on the 23rd because we have a checkout on the 23rd. So that person would message my cleaner and say, "Hey, can you make sure that you have us scheduled for a turnover clean on the 23rd?" They may need to do one on the 20th as well. Right? So that's the stuff that a co-host would do, just making sure that all of the things that need to happen to run the Airbnb happens. Now, this could be done remotely, or some people might want their co-host to go by and check on the place. Some people that don't have like an easy check-in process. So you might have to go in and check the person in and walk them around and show them how to do things. That's happened to me in other countries. Like the last place that I stayed in Lisbon, the co-host had to meet us there, let us in, walk us around, give us a lay of the land. But here, I wouldn't need that. I think the thing I would love to happen right now, I write a handwritten note, but I have to be here for that. Someone has to be here to do that. I'm planning to create just some set notes to leave for the cleaners to just write the person's name on it. When you reach out to the cleaner, we tell them who's coming and they can just write the note and put it for someone because I want it to not require me to be here. All that to say, you could be a co-host. Another thing that you can do as a co-host is I have my friend's mother is about to do an Airbnb right now, and she has no idea how to set it up. She has no idea how to set up the Airbnb. And so as a co-host, I could go and set up her Airbnb for her and just charge her for that. Like I could literally just charge her a flat fee to just schedule someone to take the pictures, get the pictures uploaded, write the description, get it set up and get her calendar and stuff set up. So that is an Airbnb co-host. So I went into way more detail on that than I meant to. But that is something that you could do that doesn't cost you anything. You could just learn how to use the platform. Most cities have Airbnb Facebook groups. So there's a Tallahassee Airbnb Facebook group, and a lot of times people are in there looking for co-hosts. Airbnb also has a platform that you can list yourself as a co-host. So just like Fiverr is a freelancer site, Airbnb has a separate site where you can list yourself as a co-host and people can find you and hire you. Um, and then community managers. So y'all, communities are huge right now. Communities, if you have not noticed, everybody is launching a community right now. Literally everybody is launching a community. And YouTube they like in the last year or so, 2 years, rolled out a community. They announced recently that they are expanding their community features. So people are leaning heavily into communities. And therefore, a lot of people need good community managers. As someone who has run a community, one of the biggest challenges we have is making sure people are engaged in that community. And to get people there, having community managers who connect with people in the community, engage with people in the community, and help keep consistent, engaging content going in that community, that is another side hustle. That is another service that you can provide. Communities are really hot right now. Am I crazy? If y'all notice that everybody has a community right now, I I think I'm part of like 6 communities. But yeah, so the community apps like Circle, Mighty Networks, um, School, they are all, and YouTube and Patreon, they are all Substack, they are all leaning more heavily into their community platform and building out that product because it is really, really um popping right now. Everybody has a community. And so a lot of these community owners, like myself, need community managers. I have community managers, so I'm good, but a lot of them need community managers to come in and help manage their communities, right? Um, I'm going to throw another one out there as an idea since we're brainstorming. Mobile braid takedown services, because you see these braids, Can I tell you how bad I don't want to take them down? They need to come down. I mean, like, look at them. It's time, sis. It's time. It's time to let them go. But I don't want to take them down. I feel like for me, it takes as long to take the braids loose as it took to get the braids. And I'm not a braider. Also, because it takes so long, like let's say it took 4 hours to get these braids, it's going to take me about 4 hours to take them down. That's 4 hours of me not being productive. Like I could be sitting here getting some stuff done. I got goals I got to set up for 2025. I got a marketing launch to do. If I could pay somebody to come over here and take these braids out, I would. Like any of y'all in Tallahassee right now, let me know. But you guys may have seen on Instagram, there's a couple of videos that have kind of gotten really popular. There's these braid takedown salons in Atlanta, and that's all they do. They do braid takedown services. They take the braids down, they steam your hair, they wash it, they style it, you go about your business. And I'm like, that's really cool. But like, what if you could come to my house and do that so I don't have to go nowhere? I'm telling you, mobile braid takedown services, ladies. If you have some time, and so when we talk about like the lift, it doesn't cost you anything to do that. You need to figure out a way to make sure people know you have the service, right? You need to make sure that people know that you offer this service. Um, but it doesn't cost you anything to offer that service. What it does cost you is time. So when we talk about like whether this is passive, it's not passive, right? You are going to have to actually be there to take down the braids. But I'm gonna one up you on that. Here's how to make it passive. You start offering this service, and then, especially in a college town like Tallahassee, you start hiring students to do the work and you just get the clients. So you just manage the social media and the website, and you manage the communications that come in, and then you book other people to do the work, right? So now you're brokering the deal between the client and the service provider, and you just take a cut. That's how to make that passive. That's how you go and make that passive. Um, if you bring those braids to Vietnam, I'll take you. Girl, these braids better be gone by the time I get to Vietnam. I'm going to Vietnam in January. My girl Raven will be there. I will not have these braids in January. This is when you start wearing hair wraps for a couple weeks. Literally almost put on a hair wrap tonight. I'm not even playing. My hair wrap is like right here in this closet because I came this close to putting it on. Are there any recommended training sites for community managers? I actually don't know. Um, I always say start with what's free, right? YouTube is free. I am pretty sure there's probably a bunch of, you know what? Let's just do it. We ain't got to talk about it. Let's be about it. Let me share my screen and let's find out. Okay. Um, between YouTube and then low cost, when we talk about like free versus low cost, there's probably also some courses on either Coursera, Udemy, Skillshare, and things like that. But let's go to the YouTubes. Let's start with YouTube because again, free. Um, I feel like I want to switch my account because I don't want this all in my feed. But let's go to how to become a community manager. Boop, boop, boop. How I became a community manager, how to become a community manager job description, how to be an effective community manager, beginner's guide. And let's look up, because that's probably telling you like how to get the jobs. Community manager skills. Ooh, can I type though? Yes, there we go. Top 10 skills for community managers. What do community managers do? Community manager tips and tricks. So this is the free. This is a good place to just start for free, right? And then let's do a search for community manager courses. So you got Coursera offers a course. Coursera offers a course. Meta actually offers a course. Because if you remember, Meta/Facebook was really trying to push their groups, right? So look, they have a community manager online course. Is it free? It doesn't say it costs anything. It doesn't say it costs anything. It looked like it might be free, friend. Let me share the link with you. Okay, I don't know if I share the links, will you get them? So try that out. To Bobby in Colorado. Check that out. I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna move on. because we've been on services for a minute. I love that y'all are motivating each other. That's wonderful. You guys are awesome. Okay, I'm going to go into the next category that a lot of people ask about is content creation and affiliate marketing. That's the other category that I'm going to throw out there. Content creation and affiliate marketing. So that's things like blogging. Uh, Here's one. Okay. So let me back up. I feel like affiliate marketing is a decent side hustle. It takes time to make money doing this. It takes time to be a content creator. It takes time to build enough of a following to make a lot of money doing affiliate marketing. But I think one of the things that I said in previous videos is that you can start both at the same time, right? You have to start somewhere. Like you're never going to build the audience if you don't start building the audience. You're never going to make a lot of money as an affiliate marketer if you don't start sharing affiliate marketing, right? If you don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's basically you earning a commission for sharing products and things like that. And then people pay you kind of like a little commission for it. So whenever you see the videos of the girlies trying on outfits or showing, things around their house. And then they say comment link and then they send you a link and it's like an Amazon or a LTK, like to know it. And then you go and buy it, they get a commission for it. Right. So that is the affiliate marketing piece of that. You don't have to be an influencer to do that though. Like you don't have to be in front of the camera. You don't have to be changing clothes, getting dressed, sharing your life, putting all of your life out there. Cause I know a lot of people don't want to do that. Right. You don't have to. Some people still make money blogging. Actually, one of my friends, she makes money blogging. She makes money in a couple of ways. One, she gets ad revenue. My nose getting stuffy. Excuse me. She makes ad revenue from blogging. So because she has, I think, over 10,000 visitors on her website per month, she makes ad revenue from that. Now, I know you hear me saying she has 10,000 and you're like, I'm not there. She didn't start with 10,000. She had to get to that point, right? And she just learned how to be really good at search engine optimization and learning how to do really well with finding the right keywords and things like that. She's not on camera. She does not like she just started sharing her stuff on Instagram more often. Like she wasn't showing up on Instagram. Matter of fact, she hosted a workshop about blogging. And her question was, do you want to be popular or do you want to make money? She pulled all of our cards because she was like, y'all on Instagram trying to get popular, and I'm over here on my blog making money. And she's making money in a number of ways, media ads that are on her blogs, and then also through sharing affiliate links. I can show you her blog if you guys would like to see it. Someone asked on another video, what does a money-making blog look like? Let me show you. Her website is called Passports and Grub. So this is her blog. It's called Passports and Grub. The third way that she makes money is brand partnerships. So brands will hire her to come and come to their destination and write about their accommodations and write about their destinations. But her name's Tamiko. She actually teaches people how to do this as well. She has a course that teaches people how to do this as well. She does one-on-one coaching also. But she does a lot of, I think she just did a blog about what is the page? So you see how this ad just came up when I just tried to go to her blog. She just got paid. She's made money from that. She literally just made money because that popped up. But if you go to one of her posts, you will see ads pop up. You will also see links in here as well. So we got an ad roll right here. She got paid for this ad roll at the bottom. There's an ad roll right here in the middle. There's an ad right here. You see all these ads? But it doesn't take away from the blog post, right? And in here, she probably has some affiliate links as well, because she's talking about where to stay. So when you click on those, she'll get something from that as well. So blogging is another outlet as well if you don't want to be in front of cameras. Is SEO difficult to learn? Excuse me. No, I don't think SEO is difficult to learn because I've been learning it. And there's a lot of tools that will help you. And when you're writing blogs, especially on a site like WordPress, too many ads. Yeah, I hear that. I hear you. I hear you. Trust me, I hear you. Um, but on WordPress, when you're filling out the blog post, and I can show you, you know what? Listen, this is a show and tell type of conversation today. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So on WordPress, when you're creating a blog, it has SEO markers in there and it's telling you if you're doing a good job using your keywords. It's not hard to do at all. It's just understanding that, what are the keywords that are searchable that people are actually using? And then how are you using your keywords in the blogs? So in WordPress, I don't know about any other blog site, but they have like a traffic light. It'll be orange, it'll be red if you're not doing good, orange if you're doing okay, and green if you're doing it really well. And it will give you guidance also. So it will tell you that you need to have your keyword in the title. You need to have your keyword in the first sentence. You need to have your keyword in some subheadings. And then when you post pictures on your blog, the keyword needs to be in the name of the picture and in the alternate image text. So I'm going to show you what that looks like really quickly. Um, I knew we was going to be here for a long time. I knew we were. If you have to leave, I understand. It's a long night. Hopefully y'all are, cooking dinner and multitasking while we're doing this. But I want to show you what it looks like. I want to give you as much information as I possibly can in the time that we're together. Um, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a blog post that I have. And I make a little bit of money off of my blog. I don't do it enough. And I don't have that many, what is the word? I don't have that many, I don't have that much traffic. So she has, I think, Mediavine. Mediavine, you have to have 10,000. I don't have that yet. So I just use Google AdSense. And I think I made like $23 over the last 2 months on, but again, that's starting somewhere, right? So I'm going to show you a blog post that does not have great traffic and one that has really good one. One of my blogs actually shows up on the first page of Google if you search for something. So I'm going to show you one that doesn't have a great one. Oh, that's a draft. Oh, this is a draft. So perfect. I feel like I need to pause and like blow my nose. All right. So if you can see this, if you can see this, this is so small right here. See if I can make it bigger. All right. So I am trying to write a blog. I am writing. I was. Anyway, there was a blog supposed to come out about the best bike tours in Lisbon, right? And you see this right here. It's called Yoast. It's a plugin that you can add to WordPress. And it basically gives you markers on whether or not you're using SEO correctly. So I wrote this blog post. I put pictures in it. I did all this stuff. When you go to the bottom, you can check your SEO. So the one at the top is your readability. Is it easy to read? And the one at the bottom is SEO. So I put in my key phrase. My key phrase is bike tours in Lisbon. So I let it know this is the phrase. And then it's going to tell me based on that phrase, am I doing a good job of SEO? So you don't have to like be a huge SEO expert. It also will guide you through SEO. So here I named the slug is like after the .com in a website and that forward slash, the slug is what comes after that. So I put bike tours in Lisbon in the slug because obviously that's a keyword. So we definitely want it as part of the web address. So it also will tell me if I go into SEO analysis, it'll tell me what I did well and didn't do well. So it says there's no internal links on my page. So I need to add some. So that's bad for SEO because what will happen is as Google combs through your sites and your pages, it's looking for the pages that have the most resources for a person. Google wants to be as helpful as possible to people. And so if people are looking for bike tours in Lisbon, it wants to give people a page that's going to give it as much information as possible. And so if this page has internal and external links, Google's like, oh, you're giving them a lot of resources, right? So I need to add some. It says the key phrase is not in my introduction. Um, so in the introduction, I think right here, I don't say best bike tours in Lisbon. I just say a bike tour is an excellent way to explore Lisbon. So it's telling me that it's not there, but it's telling me that I did do some things. I have some outbound links. My images have the key phrase in the name of them. The key phrase is found 3 times in my email. It's in my meta description. My meta description link is long enough. And it's telling me that I've done things like use my key phrase in, you see these subheadings? I put the key phrase in these subheadings as well. So all that to say, you don't necessarily have to learn to become an SEO expert. You can utilize the tools that are available to help you do that. So I am not an SEO expert, and this blog post right here ranks on Google. It shows up on the first page of Google. If you do a search for Bacardi, Casa Bacardi in Puerto Rico, this shows up on the very first page. I hope that was helpful. You can also do tutorials to Yoga Bliss's point. Again, almost everything that we talk about, you can learn for free on YouTube, or you can take a low cost class on Udemy or Coursera or something like that to learn how to do. So that's blogging. All right. And there's also Pinterest. So I'm calling these out because these are things that you don't necessarily have to build a huge following and put your life on Instagram or YouTube or put yourself in front of a camera to do. You don't have to do that for blogging. And you're going to be able to, you don't have to necessarily build a following. You just have to make sure that you're using the right keywords so that you show up for what people are searching for. The same thing with Pinterest. Some people, and I found a video, I meant to save it, but I found a video where this woman is making money doing Pinterest and affiliate marketing. All she's doing is like pinning different things that people are interested in looking at. And then people click on that thing. And if they buy something, she gets commission for it. And there's a whole lot of YouTube videos on how to use Pinterest. I do not know how to use Pinterest for real, aside from creating a board for myself. But there's a whole lot of people making really good money using Pinterest. So I want to throw that out there as an option as well that you could learn how to do. Doesn't cost you anything, and you don't have to have a following to do it. Another thing I'm gonna throw out there, and this is something you have to learn how to do, but um, creating cartoons and learning channels. So back to not wanting to be on camera, everybody does not want to be an influencer. Everybody does not want to be a YouTube guru. Everybody does not want to do talking head videos or vlogs or anything like that. But you can still be on YouTube by creating cartoon channels and learning channels. And your face never has to be on it, right? So there are these tools that you can use to create cartoons. And I'm going to show you two examples that have been very, very successful. One of them you've probably heard of before, but I actually watched a video of this woman. She, I'm not going to go off a tangent. Let me not go off on a tangent. We've already been here for an hour and a half almost. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. So you guys have heard of Gracie's Quarter, I hope. Have you heard of Gracie's Quarter? So, hey, 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 can y'all hear this? Come on, come on. Listen, they be Gracie's Quarter be jamming, okay? I'm low key hating on this generation because Gracie's Corner, like all the kids songs that we used to listen to that were boring, they are hype on Gracie's Corner, okay? And this is only one of their ABC songs. But my point is, look at this. They have 4.8 million subscribers. They have 4.8 million subscribers. And most of their videos get millions of views. The video that I just showed, I think it has 55 million views. They out here getting paid, okay? And here's the thing. What they did, I'm sorry you can't hear it. You guys, I'll share the link so you guys can like, I'm gonna tell you what it was. It was basically an ABC song, but it was set to Afro beats. It was set to "Unfollow You," because I'm in love with you. Are you done talking? Are you done talking? That one. But it was an ABC song set to "Are You Done Talking" Afro beats, which was pretty dope. But keep in mind, none of them are showing their faces. They're not showing their faces at all. Of course, there's some production that goes into this. Gracie's Corner is very well produced. But there's these tools where you can go and create cartoons or you can create something cartoonish. And a lot of people are doing things like, and I've seen a few videos on this, they basically will go and write a storyline or use AI to write a storyline and then go and use some AI tools to create a cartoon around that. And so now you've got stuff that some of it, like if it's for kids, they watch, and kids will watch the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And parents are real good to be like, girl, take my iPad and go watch Gracie's Corner and leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? And so this is something that you can go and create. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for kids. It could be anything educational. It could be educational for adults. And it does not have to have your face in it. So if you've got something that you can teach people, right, you can go and create that. Or even if you're telling stories or whatever the case may be. I am learning Spanish. And I'm going to show you another example. I am learning Spanish. And there is a page that I watch on a regular basis. Pause. Imagine you guys can't hear this though. Let me see if I can figure out how to share audio. Hold on a second. I'm going to share a window. It says I share audio. Okay. All right. So this website, it's not as fancy as Gracie's Corner was, but I'm learning Spanish and I listen to this story every single day. They have 95,000 subscribers and this video has 476,000 views. Listen to the video. Like it's not that.
Simple story in Spanish.
Look at the
It is
video.
perfect for all beginners.
Like it's
Pero
just
cada
pictures.
día corría un poco más. Después de algunas semanas, Alex se sintió más fuerte.
See, it's just a
Corría
series
más
of
tiempo
photos
y con
that
más
they have
energía.
created. Now, they have created these characters and they're probably using some AI tool to create these characters, or they may have hired someone on Fiverr to create these characters. And then they have someone doing a voiceover. And all they're doing is they're telling a story, like a children's story, about this old man who decided to start running. They're telling it in Spanish and then translating it in English. Now, I'm not telling you to go and create a channel that's cartoons for kids or create a channel that like teaches someone how to do a language. But what I am saying is there are opportunities for you to do a lot of faceless type of content on YouTube to make money as well. I don't know if this channel has other languages, but no, this channel would only have Spanish. It says listen in Espanol, listen ES. But if you do a search for something, I'm sure you can find something similar to it. So that's another thing that you can do that doesn't cost you anything. And since we're on the topic of languages, you can also teach people other languages on websites as well. You watch that story for learning Spanish. It's a good story. Me and Alex be kicking it. I listen to that while I like do my skincare in the morning. And I'm listening to it over and over again until like I can tell the story in Spanish. So those are some options as well. But these are things that fit under the realm of content creation that people don't talk about. Every time folks talk about content creation, we just assume we're talking about getting on a camera and sharing your life. Right? We think that we're talking about becoming influencers, but content creation spans a lot of things. It's blogging, it's Pinterest, it's creating a newsletter. It could be doing UGC content. Maybe you're good at recording things, but you don't really record yourself, right? But you can record these products that you have and you can sell that to the brand so that they can put that on their site. Or somebody said I was surprised that ASMR on YouTube was such a big thing. It is. So all that to say, you can do a lot of faceless stuff faceless digital marketing on Instagram is a thing. And this is more like UGC. So user generated content. A lot of people are doing stuff like that. So you might have a faceless channel where you just show yourself making coffee or cleaning up a room or stuff like that. And then you start going and selling that kind of content to brands. So if you're making up your bed, so for instance, if you guys follow Jackie Ado on Instagram, she irons her sheets every morning. She's in the content because she likes to be on camera, but she never has to be on camera for that. She could be showing herself making her bed, showing just her hands, making her bed and ironing her sheets. And then she could sell that content to the company that makes the iron. right? So that's UGC content. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one. I feel like I need to take a moment and blow my nose. I sound crazy. So the next one I'm going to say is digital products. Yeah, ASMR is huge on YouTube for sure. The next one I'm going to throw out there is digital products. I really should have had some tissue here. I'm so mad. I had everything else here but tissue. Um, the next one is digital products. So courses. Some of you have a course in you, but you think that it needs to be so produced and so fancy and so perfect that you are not creating that course. And what I want to tell you is get over it. Get over it. Like the first iteration of your course does not have to look like the fifth iteration of someone else's course. It doesn't have to be overly done. In fact, the first iteration of your course can be a beta launch and you can do it live. You can say, I'm going to meet once a week with this cohort. We're going to go over the content and then that becomes the course, right? I'm going to keep it real kind of girl. Get over it. Stop overthinking this stuff, right? Your first iteration of your course can literally be a small cohort of like 8 people. You sit down, you come up with your curriculum, you get on a Zoom call or Google Meets call, you record that, and then that becomes the first iteration, the iteration 2 of your course. The beta is you doing it live, and iteration 1 is you sharing those same lives. Not even joking. Can't tell you how many very successful course creators have done exactly that thing. Okay, guys, I really have to blow my nose. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go off screen. It's gonna take me like 2 seconds. Don't go away. I'll be right back. All right, she's back. Told you it's gonna be fast. All right, I am back. So a lot of you, you have a course in you. You have things that you can teach. Some of you educators, you can teach other educators how to be better educators. What if you also created courses teaching parents that want to shift into homeschooling? Right? What if you wanted to create a course around that? Some of you operations people, what if you wanted to create courses? What if you decided to create courses on operational excellence and how to be really good at operations? Right? So a lot of you can have courses in you. Project managers, the people that want to get into project management, it's insane. The number of people that have asked me to create a project management course and I just don't feel like it. You can talk about, what do project managers do on a day-to-day basis? What are some of the tools they use? How to pass the PMP? Um, how to transition into project management. So many of you have a course in you, but you are so stuck on thinking it needs to be produced. And you really, it doesn't need to be the very best version for you to start and test it out. In fact, you don't want to do that. In fact, I am telling you, please, for the love of God, don't do that. You need to do a beta test so that you can learn from your initial group of students what you really need to put into the course to really sell it. Okay? You need to really think about, like, you need to do kind of um an MVP, a minimum viable product version, so that as you're going through this, like when I think about the first version of the remote ready bundle, when I started teaching people how to get remote jobs, the first version of that, if I had turned that into a full course, I would not, I don't think that it would be the value that it is today. Because that first iteration and working with people live and one to one helped me learn exactly what people need and where people are struggling. And then iteration 2, I recorded it at my house. I went and rented a camera because I didn't have a nice camera, but I recorded it at my house in a weekend. I spent just one weekend. I was like, I'm going to spend like a week outlining this. I'm going to spend a weekend recording it, and then I'm going to put it up. I'm just going to get it out there. And that iteration did pretty well, right? And then the iteration that I have right now, I actually rented out a content space. I rented multiple cameras. It was a lot more polished, but like that was the third iteration of this. So get over it. If you have a course in you, just start with the people that you start with your people and start doing it live. So ASMR is I forget what it stands for, God, I forget what it stands for, but it can be anything. It can be people opening packages. It could be, I actually did an ASMR brand partnership for this, um, for my inhaler. I don't know if y'all can see it. So one of the brand partners, one of the pieces of content I did for this brand was an ASMR unboxing of this. And so you can hear me ripping the package open. You can hear me opening and closing it, tapping on it, all that kind of stuff. All right. Templates. So we talked a little bit about this. If you learn Notion, if you learn Canva, you can create announcements, invitations, signs. This woman in my Airbnb group makes like $3,000 a month just because she created some templates, some sign templates for Airbnbs. Every Airbnb has to have a few signs around the house, like the Wi-Fi code, the welcome booklet, the sign, whatever sign you put up in front of the house. And then there's this cute little magnet that you can put on your refrigerator that gives people guidance on the rating system. And she sells those. She sells stuff like that, and she makes like $3,000 a month. So you can go and create digital products, planners. We talked about those earlier that you can sell, and then ebooks also. Some of you have a book in you, and some of you don't. But I ran across a video in my research where this woman, she literally goes into AI. She literally goes into ChatGPT, and she will have ChatGPT write a book. She'll tweak it. It'll write an ebook on whatever, like some topic, like how to learn how to do XYZ, and she'll tweak it a bit, and then she'll go and sell that on Amazon. And even better, she'll do a voiceover and sell it on Audible and get checks from Audible. So there are people who do that as well. And then another one I want to call out is AI art. So some people, like if you learn how to play around, I have a few friends that do AI artwork. And it's not as easy as it sounds. But I have a friend who does beautiful AI artwork, and she can actually open an Etsy shop or open a shop on art.com or something like that and sell that as well. Oh, I didn't know that. Voiceover, you know what? Voiceover work is on my list. Thank you for saying that. It's on my list when we get to odd jobs. If I can ever make it through this list. This list is long. AI art is a competitive area. I bet it is. I absolutely bet it is. The cool thing is with the AI art is you can also take that art and put it onto things that we talked about earlier. Like you could put it on phone cases or bags and sell that stuff. And then have any of you ever heard of creating GPTs? Have any of you heard of this? You can go and create GPTs. So in my remote work community, we used to host workshops every week to give people ideas for how to work remotely and help people through their careers. And one of my friends came and hosted a session where she taught people how to create GPTs, and you can go and sell those. You can go and sell those GPTs. So I'm going to show you guys a GPT that I made. And it took me 30 minutes to make this GPT. I'm going to tell you that. Like, it's not as hard as you think it is, as you might think it is. I'm going to share my screen again. I made a GPT. I'm still working on it. But what you can do is you can offer that as a service to clients, but you can also create GPTs and put a paywall up for people to get access to it. Hold on. Actually, let me take this off the screen because I don't know what y'all gonna see first in my chat GPT. Because me and chat GPT be talking, child. I don't need y'all in our conversations. Me and chat GPT be having a good time, running our mouths. Can I open this in a new window? Okay. So I created this GPT right here. You still gonna show all my business? Can I collapse this? Thank you. All right. So should we ask ChatGPT how to prepare GPTs? You probably could. You probably could. All right. So I created this GPT. It says test because I just created it the other day. And I'll try to show you really quickly how I created it. But basically what it does, what I trained it to do, actually, yeah, let's do that. No, not your chat. Go back. How can I edit this bad boy? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go to the edit. So all I went in here and said I wanted to create a GPT. I named it and I told it to do some stuff, right? I just told it to do some stuff. I said, hey, ask people to upload their resume, and then ask them if they want to continue to do the same type of work or complementary work to what they've done in the past. And then I said, if they say no, ask them what things in their background they like and don't like. If they say yes, ask them if there's any type of work or task they want to avoid. And then I gave it some more instructions, right? So one of the things that I could do if I wanted to, which I might, we'll see, is I could make this accessible only to people that get behind a paywall. I can say, if you pay me $5, you can get access to my automated career coach or my AI career coach, right? And so what it's going to do is, when you click on it, help me find a career path. I created it for people who have trouble figuring out what career they want to transition into. So you click on help me find a career path. It says, I'd be happy to help start. Upload your resume. So it's telling me to upload my resume, and then it's telling me if I don't have it, to just share my recent work experience. And so once I upload my resume, let's see. Oops. Once I upload my resume, it's going to remember what I said I wanted it to do after my resume gets uploaded. I told it, once I upload the resume, to ask if I want to do similar work to what I've done or what I do and don't like about my job, about what I do. So that's what it asked. It says, are you interested in continuing a similar field? Because I told it to do that. I told ChatGPT to do that when I built the chat box, the chatbot. And so you could do something like this for yourself and sell access to it. So this is something I'm actually creating to offer as part of a launch bonus that I have coming up, to help people get remote jobs for my company, Quit Commuting. I created it because a lot of times it's hard for me to be helpful to help people get remote jobs because they don't know what they want to do. And so I was like, why don't I create something that gets them farther along that path? So by the time they get to me and get in the coaching program, I can actually help them get the job that they decided. So I created this bot for that. And so I am considering putting it behind a paywall or making it only available to people that are in my paid community. So you could do that, or you could learn how to do this and get really good at it and start offering it to other businesses as a consultant. So that's something I would throw out there as well. If that's something you guys, again, we're brainstorming here. We're just throwing out ideas. So you could create GPTs, and you can actually sell these in the open market. So you can go on Gumroad and sell these. One of my friends created, when she did the workshop for our community, she created a GPT that helped people build meal plans based on what they had in their fridge, based on their macros, their goals, and foods they liked and didn't like. So it would ask them certain questions, and then it would spit out recipes for them, and then it would spit out a grocery list for them as well. So that's what she did as an example. She created a GPT, and then she showed us how to put it on the marketplace on Gumroad. And again, Gumroad is a website where you can sell stuff and you don't have to pay. Like a lot of sites like Shopify, you got to pay a monthly fee. Gumroad, you only pay if you actually sell something. So that's that. Whew. We've been talking. Okay, I'm going to try to wrap this up. My last category is odd jobs. So I'm going to call out focus groups. I have done a focus group before. I have a friend who did a sleep study focus group. She made like $2,500. Actually, this was Tiffany Aliche. If y'all know Tiffany Aliche, the Budgetnista, she had a show on Netflix. She was on a show on Netflix. She has a book called Get Good with Money. She's a friend of mine. Years ago, she posted that she did a sleep study for $2,500. So focus groups is one. That's an odd job. Flipping free furniture. I listened to this podcast called Real Estate Rookie, and it's mainly people that are, early on getting into real estate investing. And one of the questions they typically ask is, how did you get, the first money that you could use to invest, right? How did you get that initial down payment that you could get to invest? And one of the people on there shared that she flipped free furniture. That's what she did to make money. So she would go out, she would go on, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, which still exists, crazy enough, or she would ride around and find furniture that people are giving away. She would either clean it up or update it and then go and sell it. And she would flip free furniture. Voiceover work is another odd job. I have friends who do voiceover work, and they make good money doing it. And because so many people listen to audiobooks, it's in high demand. And someone just mentioned a few minutes ago that Audible has a audition site for voiceovers. And you can offer voiceover work on Fiverr and Upwork. I have hired people for voiceovers on both of those sites before. And then training AI tools. So there are websites where you can get paid to train AI tools as well. Let me show you. Hold on, get paid. Flipping furniture. This is a real job, flipping furniture, especially living in a college town where folks throw out good items. I mean, I live in a college town and I low key want to tell my daughter, listen, at the end of every semester, just ride around and go pick up couches and dressers and desks and go sell it. I have seen actually the woman that was on the site, she has sold something before she even picked it up. So basically, somebody was sometimes, so she does free and she does paid as well, but somebody was selling a couch on Facebook Marketplace and they had posted the picture, and based on the pictures she didn't feel like she had to do a lot of work to it. So she was negotiating with them, she agreed to buy it. Before she even went and picked it up, she had already taken the pictures and reposted them and sold it for more by the time she had picked it up. Listen, people be out here making money doing all kinds of stuff. Training AI bots. There's a site called Remote Tasks. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So there's a site called Remote Tasks where you can basically train AI bots. You make $18 an hour. Click on there. And I assume it's just asking you to do different tasks and things like that. Oh, thank you for saying that, Brandy. Hit the like button. Show me some support. Yay. Thank you. I never ask. I appreciate that. All right. So that is the end of my list of brainstorming ideas. And you guys shared a lot of great ideas as well. I'm going to do one more thing and then I'm going to answer a few questions. Okay. And then I'm going to let y'all get on to your evening because I need to order some food. All right. We're going to ask ChatGPT for some ideas. Can we do that? Is that an idea? Can we do that? So I shared a bunch of ideas that just came out of my brain, but let's ask ChatGPT for some ideas as well. All right, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. Where's my ChatGPT screen? Okay. So ChatGPT is my homie. I need to name her. Have y'all named y'all ChatGPT? I know a few people have. I haven't come up with a name for mine. I should ask her what she would like to be called. Okay, so we're gonna put this prompt in ChatGPT that I saw on the internet. People love sharing prompts. This prompt says, let me tell you what it says. Act as my personal business coach and help me create a comprehensive plan to generate over 100,000 online by the end of 2025 with zero upfront costs. Outline strategies for building a successful online business, effective marketing techniques, potential revenue streams, and ways to leverage AI tools to enhance my productivity and creativity. Please provide actionable steps, resources, and example to guide me through this process. I need a step-by-step, day-by-day schedule. I didn't write this prompt. I saw it online. I want to see if it works. Let's see. Ooh, somebody said they just submitted an app to Remote Tasks. I love that. All right, let's see. Let's see if this works. Let's test it out. So the goal is to generate over 100,000 online by the end of 2020 without upfront costs. Define your niche. Yeah, but like, what are we gonna do? Validate your test ideas. Oh, it's telling me based on me. So unfortunately, this is really like, it knows me already. So it's still telling me to like do a webinar on how to land your first remote job. His name is Al. Yours is named Alex. I need to come up with a name for mine. I don't know if mine is a guy though. I feel like mine's a girl, a woman. Establish revenue streams, group coaching. So ChatGPT is giving me ideas based on me. It actually gave me a monetization breakdown, told me I should do one-to-one coaching, $100 an hour, 2 clients a month. I should do group coaching. Okay. I mean, I am doing group coaching coming up in January. Digital products, affiliate income. Why don't you say, I don't know what that means. And then it's giving me a schedule. Okay. I don't like this prompt. I got to be honest. I don't like this prompt. I tried it. I wanted to try it out. I wanted to try it out with you guys. It was a viral Instagram post. And this prompt it's not giving what they promised it would give. It's okay. It's all right. But one of the things that you could do is go in there and tell ChatGPT some of the things you like to do and ask it for some ideas for side hustles that you can start with no money. Cool. All right. So let me answer some questions. I think I lost track of the chat for questions. So if you asked a question and you want to re-ask it, feel free to. I'm going to ask a few of the questions I starred. Okay. And then I'm going to close out because it's been 2 hours. I didn't think we are going to be here this long. Y'all, wow. Y'all, wow for hanging out with me for this long. And I love you for it. Hold on. Oh, that's bitter. All right. I teach meditation and call myself a holistic stress coach online. I need to aim at lawyers, but I'm scared. Oh, this is my favorite topic. We talking about fear? Fear is my homie, okay? Me and fear get down. That is my co-conspirator to a life well lived. It is okay to be afraid. It's exciting to be afraid. It's actually wonderful to be afraid. You know why? Because it lets you know that you're alive and it lets you know that what you're thinking of is important and exciting to you. Okay? So lean into it and figure out what fear is telling you. Is fear telling you that you're excited? Or is fear telling you that you're scared? Which both can be true, right? And then find out, well, what am I scared of? What am I afraid of happening? So often we just say, I'm scared, and we stay there. We just landed scared and that's it. But we don't say, well, what am I afraid of? And what would I do if that happened? So say what you're scared of, right? What are you scared of? Are you scared of you won't get any clients? Well, what will you do if that happens? You'll be sad, you'll be hurt, but you'll live. You'll be fine. Right? What if you're scared of, I get my first client and it doesn't go well? Well, what would you do if that happened? Would you give them a refund? Would you offer them additional services and try to make it right? Would you sit down and learn from that and figure out what's next? So fear is okay. Fear is a co-conspirator, and it's something that should let you know that you are onto something interesting and exciting for you. And it should also be a space where you don't just stop at I'm scared. I'm scared of what? Ask more questions. I'm scared of what? Okay, now when you have the answer to that question, and what would I do if that happened? Right? And now you have a plan. Because a lot of times the fear is the uncertainty. The fear is, I don't know what will happen and I don't know what I would do if something goes wrong. So go ahead and figure out, what would you do if some things go wrong, right? And so I think that's exciting. I think it's really cool to identify folks focusing on lawyers because they are stressed out. You know who else is stressed out? Chefs. Not well known, but chefs be stressed out. That's a stressful job. Have y'all watched The Bear? Stress. Okay. Work up the courage to fail more often. Somebody said I need to work up the courage to fail more often. And I love that you said that. What you need to do, I don't think you need to work up the courage. What I think you need to do is accept that failure is not a character trait. It does not say anything about who you are. Failure is information. And so every time you feel like you want to use the word fail, change it for learn, right? Because I'm afraid to fail. But failing is really just like testing and learning. It's collecting data, it's getting information, and it is required to succeed. You cannot succeed without failing, right? So, what I would encourage you to do is every single time you feel like you're about to use the word fail, replace it with learn. So, if you were going to say, I'm afraid to fail, replace that and say, I'm afraid to learn. Are you afraid to learn? You're not afraid to learn. Come on. You're not. I know you aren't. But yeah, I think that it's really about understanding what failure is and not taking it on as an indication of who you are and what you're capable of. It is data, it's information. That's all. It's literally just information. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. One time I was trying to host some kind of workshop, and I put it out there into the internet, and literally nobody signed up. And my best friend, she's so sweet, and I love her so much. She called me, and she was like, "You want to talk about it?" I was like, "Talk about what?" And she was like, "You had to cancel your workshop. Nobody showed up. I mean, nobody signed up." I was like, "Girl, I'm on to the next thing. I'm not even thinking about that. It's information. I tried to sell something that people weren't interested in. I'm going to do something else." That was a learning. And I didn't do a good job of marketing it. I also made a post earlier this year because I did the same launch I'm about to do, the same launch I'm about to do for Quit Commuting at the end of the year. I did it last year, and not nail person signed up. Nobody. Zero people signed up for this launch, but I learned so much about what I did wrong. So I'm going to give it another shot. And if it doesn't work again, then I'm just going to do something else. I'll be like, okay, well, this launch ain't it. This ain't the thing people want. I think I didn't market it well last time, but if I market it well this time and people still don't buy, what I learned is that this is not the right product, right? So we just learning. We just out here learning, child. That's all we doing. What do you recommend for setting up an LLC? I don't know what you mean by what do you recommend for setting up an LLC. I mean, there's some things that are required that you have to do to set up an LLC. So it's really about looking up what's required in your state and potentially in your city, because some cities require you to do some things for setting up a business. I am not a CPA or a tax attorney. So don't get me to give you no tax advice, child. You don't want that from me. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. What I would suggest you do is look up what is required, and then understand why you want to set up an LLC. I'm gonna tell you something about Black folks. We love us an LLC, okay? We love an LLC. And I don't think we all know why. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we all know why, myself included. And so I think a good place to start is understanding why you want an LLC and is it truly beneficial for the type of business you have. And I suggest talking to a CPA about that. What equipment do you use for your YouTube channel? If you're talking about my videos, lately I've been using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that everybody is raving about on YouTube. I like it because it's small, it's compact. That's what I've been using in my videos lately. Oh, thank you. Oh, somebody just sent me $5. I appreciate it. It's so nice. She got a tip. Do I have to dance for it? Do I have to dance? I feel like you just threw out some dollars. So I got to twerk for these dollars. No, seriously, thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, but here's the thing. I would suggest if you're trying to get started with YouTube, don't get caught up in what equipment people are using. Use your cell phone. Just get started. Just do it. Put out the content. Just get the content. It's more important that you focus on getting in the action of doing the thing than it is on spending the money on the stuff to do the thing. I literally just bought this microphone today, and I bought some stuff to set up a studio, but I only did that after using my phone for a few years and after using a camera I already had for a few years. And now I just made some money on YouTube. So I'm like, ooh, now I can buy the equipment because I already made the money not using the equipment. So yeah, right now I'm using the DJI Osmo Pocket for the videos. And I like it, but I'm going to go back to using my Sony ZV E10 camera because I'm going to have better lighting. Hadn't been able to figure out that camera. All right, let's see. Hi, Marnella. I'm going to answer a couple of more questions. What software do you use for your website? My website is on WordPress, if that's what you're asking. The platform that my website is on is WordPress. Yeah, just because it has more it's more customizable. That sentence was not going to work out for me. It's more customizable. um, Thank you for saying that. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you for saying that. How do you figure out YouTube if YouTube is right for you? You just gotta try it out. And what do you mean by if YouTube is right for you? Like, if you wanna, like, do a YouTube channel? I will tell you, YouTube's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Unless you just wanna come on here and have fun. Let me say this. I'm gonna start out by saying something that everybody says, um, when it comes to creating content and being a content creator. You have to do it because you want to. You cannot just be doing this to make money because you will burn out quickly. You'll be upset. You'll get frustrated very quickly because the amount of time it takes to get to the point. For some people, sure, it happens overnight, but for most of us, I have been on YouTube. When was my first YouTube video? Let's find out. Lord, I sound like a boy going through puberty right now. Y'all, I can't believe y'all are enduring this right now. What is my oldest YouTube video? And let me also say this wasn't consistent. I was inconsistent. I was in and out with YouTube. So my oldest YouTube video is from 3 years ago. If you can see this. My oldest YouTube video on this channel. This channel was not my first go at YouTube also, just to be clear. I've been trying YouTube for a long time. This is my oldest YouTube video from 3 years ago, how I got into project management. And that did do pretty well. It got 15,000 views, but it was also, it was a topic that a lot of people would ask me about. And so I did a video about it. So that was the first video I did on this channel, but this ain't the first channel I've had. It's not at all. And so it can take a while. And so you have to be doing it because you want to share. Like you just have to be wanting to share things or chronicle things or, what is the word? I think chronicle is the right word. I don't know. You want to record things, you want to share things. And then over time, you learn how to grow an audience and you start being more consistent. And so I'd say the only way to find out is to try it out. And you might be like, oh, no, this wasn't fun. I don't like it. But you cannot start day one like, I want to make, $100,000 on YouTube. You need to start out saying, I want to see if I can be consistent at this. I want to see if I can just post once a month. And then the next thing you got to do is say, I want to see if I can do one thing better every single time I post. So for me, that's the space that I'm in right now is just trying to get better. So one video I might post it, and then the next video I'm like, you know what, I'm going to focus on making my intro better. And then the next video I'm like, I'm going to focus on making sure my title is better. So right now I'm in a space of I am not necessarily chasing likes or, commissions or dollars, anything like that. I'm just trying to get really good at telling stories and sharing information. And I thankfully am being rewarded for that right now. But my focus, I I was shocked that my last few videos did so well. I really was. I did not expect them to do so well. I am just focused on every video. I want to do one thing better than I did in the last video. I am right now in a space of learning and trying things out. Um, it's the best 2-hour hangout. Hey, yay, me too. I'm so hungry though. Um, okay, I'm gonna answer one more question. Uh, whew. What are your thoughts on project manager role is headed? It seems like the field is super crowded with PMs. Um, I think, excuse me, the role is very crowded. Everybody wants to be a project manager right now. Because the barrier of entry to become one is very low. It's not hard to be a project manager. Um, it's a very general job. You can come in from any type of experience or background and be a project manager. So the field is very saturated right now. I don't think it's going away. And it has not been my experience that project managers are the first laid off. That has not at all been my experience. I think it depends on what type of company it is. And the reason is because, when you think about your career strategy, so if you are early in a career or thinking about transitioning careers, you want to be in a job that is close as possible to the cash register. And what that means is you work in an area that directly impacts revenue. right? So if you're at a retail business, you work as closely as possible with product, right? With product and sales, inventory sales and things like that. Merchandising, that's the word I was looking for from with merchandising. If you work for a software company, you want to be as close as possible to the product team, the people that are building that software. And project managers are typically the ones helping build that software, right? So project managers are the ones that are keeping all of the developers on track to build that software. Even when we go into construction, project managers are the ones that are keeping it on track to make sure that that building gets built. So in my opinion, in a lot of industries, project managers are pretty close to cash registers. So I haven't been seeing them being laid off first. Who I see getting laid off first are people that are in cost centers. So human resources, because they indirectly impact the bottom line, but they do not directly impact the bottom line. They're not as close as they're not as close to the product and the cash registers as everybody else is. Marketing tends to start getting laid off as well. I'm sorry, human resources, and then HR, and then finance and accounting, because a lot of these roles they can outsource, and these are cost centers. All right. And so I don't think that project management in general is a role that gets laid off first. I think it depends on where they are in the organization. I hope that answered your question. Okay. I gotta go. I gotta eat dinner, y'all. So um yes, yes, you're using fear to plan, ideate. Yes. So what? Yeah, I love that you said that. So what? I'm scared. So what? And what? Me and fear have these conversations all the time. It's like, I'm afraid. Well, what am I afraid of? Um, and then I name that thing and it's like, well, what would I do if that thing happened? And then I answered that question and boom, now I have a plan. Oh man, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are so kind. All right. So that said, I'm gonna roll out because we've been here for over 2 hours now, and your girl need to eat dinner and blow her nose again. I'm so surprised my voice held out for this long, but I appreciate you guys kicking it with me. A couple closeout items I want to tell you guys about. One, just to reiterate, there are so many ways to earn money. I'm looking at my notes. There are so many ways to earn money. So I hope tonight sparked some really good ideas for you. You don't have to do anything that I said, right? The whole point of this conversation was just to elaborate and expose you to that fact that there are so many ways to make money that don't cost any money, right? And so I hope that we opened your eyes and we all got to brainstorm together. But I do want to remind you guys that my channel is not a side hustle channel. There's plenty of side hustle channels out there. So if you need to go deeper, check those channels out, right? I know a lot of you end up following me or subscribing to my channel from the side hustle videos. And so I don't want to disappoint you when the rest of my content is not about that. I am a multi-dimensional person. I have a lot to share. And so side hustles is just one of those dimensions towards living a really good life. And so feel free to, engage with those. I'm sure I'll talk about it again. I'm sure I'll talk about side hustles again. But it won't be all of the content. Just so you know, next week I'll be shifting gears. I got to pay the bills. So next week is going to be some sponsored content about this amazing program that I did called Tulsa Remote, where they paid me $10,000 to go and live in Tulsa, Oklahoma for 1 year. And so I'm going to be talking about that program on the channel. Please do engage with that content, learn about the program, find out what it's about. And the cool thing is, this is another way to enhance your, life, right? Because you can move to a town that has a lower cost of living, and they'll give you $10,000 to do that. And this is how I got into real estate. So the house that I own currently that is being rented out, I used that $10,000 and bought a house in Tulsa. So anyway, all the content next week will really be about Tulsa Remote. So you can learn more about that program. Again, it's sponsored content. So, your girl got to pay the bills. And then the week after, I'm going to be switching gears again, and we're going to talk about reviewing 2024 and planning 2025. So planning and productivity is my sweet spot. That's the thing I love talking about. So expect to see a lot of that content coming out in December and in January. We're going to plan, and we're going to plan to win. We're going to get over fears. We're going to take action. We're going to be about it. And we're going to talk about that in December and January. But yeah, can I repeat that? Repeat what? What did I say? There's a program that paid me $10,000 to move to Tulsa, Oklahoma for 1 year. Don't worry about it. There's already some videos on my page about it, and I'm going to post a bunch of new videos on my page about it next week. All right. Thank you for your time. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go take care of this smooth jazz voice of mine. Y'all have a good night.